Hi everybody, this is Miss Simonian from Riverside Prep Elementary School, and today I have a weird and wacky video about strange and interesting instruments. People all over the world have made odd instruments that actually sound really cool, and they can make them out of basically anything. And I know some of you guys have already made your own instruments. The three instruments I'm going to be highlighting today, I just found out about, two of them I just found out about myself, because people are always coming up with more of them. And today's three examples are music made by instruments that use the ocean, uh, instruments that use glass, and even instruments made out of ice. So here we go. The first one, instrument played by the actual ocean. In Croatia, a country in southern Europe, an architect built steps that were concrete and hollow. I don't know if you guys can see, but the steps actually have holes in them. And when the sea rushes through them, it pushes air through 35 hidden pipes that you can't see. And you can actually, it sounds like the ocean is actually singing into it or playing its own instrument. A human is not playing this at all. It's just the ocean. So there's videos of it, and if you want to check it out, what you're going to do is go to YouTube and type in Croatia Sea Organ. Croatia is the name of the country. And the first video that comes up is the Zadar Sea Organ. And you can actually hear it play. And there are, and the second video is pretty good too. So you can check out both of them. It's also called Croatia Sea Organ. Correction, the first one is the Zadar Sea Organ, and the second one is Croatia Sea Organ. You can find either one of them by just going to YouTube and typing in Croatia Sea Organ. It's a big tourist attraction, and people come and check them out. And I'm going to give an example from YouTube right now so you can see it. All right, here we go. This is the actual ocean playing the instrument. So again, you can find this by just going to YouTube and checking out the Croatia Sea Organ. It's totally awesome, and I believe it was built in 2005, and people come see it all the time. The next video that I want you guys to see is, here we go, is about an instrument called the glass harmonica, and it's not a harmonica. You don't blow air into it, and you don't put it up to your mouth. And it's kind of built on the idea that people figured out that if they had crystal glasses and they dipped their finger in water and ran it around the rim of the glass, it would make a sound. That's hard to do. So Benjamin Franklin actually built an instrument called the glass harmonica that had a rotating pipe in the middle and had all these bowls or glasses that were tuned to a certain sound. And the instrumentalist would dip their fingers in water and actually play them. And just like a piano, the low notes are on the left and the high notes are on the right. And when the bowls rotate, it makes this really cool sound. If you want to hear one, go ahead and search for glass harmonica. Sorry, make that harmonica without the H. And the first thing that will come up is part of the Nutcracker Ballet and Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies, and a musician is actually playing this on the glass harmonica. I'll play a clip from it now so you can see how it sounds. It's a very kind of icy and magical sound, and if you've ever heard one, they have a really unique sound. Here we go. This is just background decoration. He's going to start in just a second. Okay, in about 20 seconds you can start to see him play. Those are actually glass bowls that he's playing. You got to check out the whole video. It's awesome. Okay. And our next video, they also have this one. It's kind of the eighth result down, so it's kind of harder to find. But this one is really short. It's only about 2 minutes. And that one's good to check out too. It's just called Sounds of a Glass Armonica. And it's the same man who was playing a minute ago. He's kind of a world expert at playing this instrument. All right, and the third and probably the most surprising one that I found was ice instruments. Instruments made out of actual frozen water. And I just thought the characters from Frozen would love this, because somebody has actually built real instruments out of ice in a frozen cave in Sweden, and people actually play them. And if you search ice music, National Geographic is a magazine, you'll get this really cool video, and I'll show it to you in just a second. The clip that I'm going to show is from about 1 minute into the video, because the first just talks about like the town and where it was built and stuff like that. But if you want to see the actual instrument, or instruments, because I think there's dozens of them that they've built, you're going to want to start about 1 minute. And so this is found by going to Ice Music National Geographic. And I'm going to play a clip really quick at about 1 minute. Okay, so there's a lot of videos out there of people playing these ice instruments. Someone actually built like an igloo-like structure, an ice dome in Sweden, and kept it below freezing at all times so that the ice instruments wouldn't melt, but they have to keep retuning them, and it's a lot of work. These are people playing ice instruments, as you'll be able to see in the video, the YouTube video, and this is what happens. Sometimes ice melts. If you've ever broken an ice cube or anything like that, this poor violin, which is a real violin made out of ice, somebody dropped it, and it's in sections. So yes, these are extremely fragile instruments, and they can't be allowed to melt or break. It takes a lot of work. Here are some musicians playing. On the left side, you could see a giant pipe organ, and people playing large kind of, they almost look like a fishbowl, but they're drums, they're hand drums. They're playing these ice drums. And then on the right, you can see a giant xylophone made out of ice blocks. And they didn't just throw them together. They had to tune them by sawing off a certain amount of ice so that they would play the pitches A, B, C, D, and not something in or A sharp, sharps and flats too, and not something weird that's like somewhere in the middle. They had to actually tune them, even though they were made out of ice, and the temperature is always changing, so that makes it hard. But how fun would it be to actually play one of these? I think our xylos and metallos, I think we should have one of these, except that we live in the desert, so they would melt in about 2 seconds. But they're awesome looking instruments. Why am I showing you guys all these weird instruments? Well, a lot of people are at home right now. Some people are outside, and people make their own instruments all the time, and so can we. And if you have your own homemade instruments, they don't have to be made out of the ocean or something, but even if it's made out of, like, you know, paper or plastic or whatever you have laying around, with your parents' permission, if you have music that you've made out of a homemade instrument and you want me to see, ask your parents to forward a photo or a video of you playing the instrument to my email address, which is Cynthia_Simonian at riversideprep.net, and I'll take a look at them, because I know a lot of you guys have built, you know, instruments out of rubber bands and instruments out of kitchen percussion and all kinds of cool stuff. So have fun with them, and stay safe, and I'll see you soon.